All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Dallas Cowboys rookie defender Donovan Ezeiruaku. Ezeiruaku obviously is emerging as a stud for the Dallas Cowboys, and he had himself a heck of a game against the Las Vegas Raiders last Monday night. The Cowboys lost Tank Lawrence in free agency in the offseason, and guys, they got Tank Lawrence 2.0 emerging in this young rookie. We'll break down everything he's doing so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and you want to support me continuing to do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up a little run defense, and there's Ezeiruaku, number 41, lined up on what we're going to call a 7 technique on the outside shoulder of the Raiders tight end over here, and it's going to be standard base blocking. We're going to get a base block over here, double team right here, working up to the next level, double team right here, working up to the next level. We're going to get a base block here and a base block here, and this is a situation where obviously the Cowboys have an extra man in the box with Malik Hooker, and he's able to fire in the gap and make the initial play, but I want you guys to watch Ezeiruaku here. He bodies up this tight end, beats him clean, and is part of the tackle for loss. Great job by the rookie. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the handoff. There's Hooker. There's 41. Tackle for loss. Good defense. All right, let's break this down. Watch Ezeiruaku here with his hands. Watch that punch. You see how the Raiders tight end's head snaps? Look at that. That's power, guys. Now, you can make an argument 41 maybe a little bit high there, but boy, oh boy, that's strong hands. Watch the shock with the hands, and then the shed right there, and then make the tackle. Textbook stuff when it comes to using your hands right there. Shock, shed, make the play. Nice work. I love the fact he's parallel to line of scrimmage. You can see hips, shoulders, knees, everything working parallel to line of scrimmage, never gets turned, helps create that wall that you need in terms of run fits to stop the run. Malik Hooker, the safety, sees the gap. He fires in. They're there to make the play. Great defense across the board for the Dallas Cowboys. I talked about Ezeiruaku being Tank Lawrence 2.0. He plays the game differently, however. Lawrence was the guy that would jump around blocks and create all kinds of havoc with swim moves and things like that. Ezeiruaku plays a little bit more straight up, but he's just as disruptive like we see here. All right, from the wide comp, you can see Ezeiruaku in the middle of your screen. Good hands, shock, shed, make the tackle. Really good football, guys. You can see at the initial outset here, face mask to face mask. There's the bench press right there, plays off, and then makes a tackle. Clinic tape kind of stuff. You can see the line of scrimmage. No movement at all by anyone for the Las Vegas Raiders on the Dallas Cowboys. That's a wall of run fits right there. Nowhere for the running back to go. Safety fires to make the initial play, and there's 41 to clean up. Great job. All right, this next play is the safety that ended the game for all intents and purposes, and there's Ezeiruaku right there lined up on the left side of your screen, and he's going to fire inside right here, and there's a communication bust between these two Raiders offensive linemen. This tackle right here, he thinks he's going out to pick up a blitzer. He thinks the guard's going to pick up Ezeiruaku, and they totally bust it. 41 goes inside and makes the play for the safety. Obviously, unblocked play. It's a play you got to make, a box you got to check. Ezeiruaku does. Let's check it out. There's a snap, inside run. There's a play. There's a safety. Nicely done. How about Oso Digizua right here? Embarrassing this offensive lineman. Who is that for the Raiders? Their left tackle? My goodness gracious, he just gets dish ragged there. That's not good at all, right? Boy, oh boy. And they leave Ezeiruaku unblocked here, excuse me. Not good offensive line for the Raiders. But guess what? You got to take advantage of it, right? If you go unblocked, if you get a favorable matchup, you got to win. There's a saying in football, right? What do good teams do? They beat up on the bad teams. What do good players do? They beat up on bad players, and that's what Ezeiruaku did for the Dallas Cowboys against the Raiders. And right here, you go unblocked, this better be a safety. Ezeiruaku makes the play. One of the things I love about it, though, is that he maintains some gap discipline, right? He doesn't just fire like with reckless abandon inside. He actually is under control, breaks down, makes a tackle. Nice job. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at it. Again, 41's going to come unblocked off the edge right here. The Raiders are trying to communicate. He comes inside and makes the play. But again, he's not going crazy. He's not flying with reckless abandon. He gets in his gap. You see his initial first step is actually in his gap laterally for the run fit before he gets north and south. He's under control the entire time. You'll notice how he plays once again parallel to line of scrimmage. Again, knees, hips, shoulders, parallel to line of scrimmage. Knees, hips, shoulders, parallel to line of scrimmage. And there he makes the play. Good, solid, fundamental football player. Good instincts, but great technique just the same. Nice job here by 41. All right, how about some athleticism from Ezeiruaku? And there he is lined up on the right side of your screen. So this is going to be kind of a trick play here for the Raiders. So they're going to pull the guard this direction. They're going to have the tackle blocked down here. Then they're going to pitch it out here to Ashton Jeanty. Basically what they're trying to do, they're trying to influence the backside linebacker who's probably reading this guard. So he pulls this way, Overshown's going to fly that direction. That's the Raiders' thought. And they think the block down here is going to pull Ezeiruaku inside, and then they're going to out-leverage him with Ashton Ginty. And guys, it doesn't work out at all. Ezeiruaku right there on the right side of your screen, he sees the tackle go inside, he follows him down, but he's able to bounce out and make the tackle for loss. Great job right there for the Cowboys defender. Let's check it out. There's a snap, there's a toss, there's Ezeiruaku and Quinnen Williams and Overshown. I tell you what, 3 guys. Coming into the season, obviously no Quinnen Williams. We all knew Overshown was hurt. Ezeiruaku, a rookie, starting to emerge obviously as stars for this Cowboys defense. And it's not a horrific design by the Raiders. It's just poorly executed because you can see Overshown right here barely bites at all. So again, he's such a good athlete that he's going to be there to make the play. I mean, if Williams doesn't make the play, if Ezeiruaku doesn't make the play, Overshown's going to make the play. I mean, this was just not a good job by the Raiders. But you see the tackle work down. Ezeiruaku bites the cheese a little bit. See, I don't love how right there, see how he's not parallel to the line of scrimmage? That's not ideal. Knees, hips, shoulders are perpendicular, but he recognizes, he corrects like we see there, now goes horizontally down, parallel down, and makes the tackle. Again, it's not always going to be perfect, but even when it isn't for 41, he has the athleticism and heat-seeking missile potential to overcome the mistakes like we see here to get the big tackle for loss against the Raiders. Now from the wide copy, you can see Ezeiruaku right there. See how he gets turned inside but then corrects? You know, that's a good athlete, right? Because initially off the rip right here, not a good position. The Raiders don't have him out-leveraged, but they're in an okay spot. But he's such a good athlete, and Quinnen Williams is such a good player that it doesn't stand a chance anyway. Now, if Ezeiruaku, of course, doesn't make this play, I mean, Overshown, I mean, he's right there. It's going to be a bad play for the Raiders regardless. But this is a good recovery by Ezeiruaku. Again, it's not always going to be perfect. Whether you're a rookie or a veteran, you're going to have plays where you're out of position, plays where you lose your feet, plays where you lose your technique. Do you have the athletic ability to correct? Ezeiruaku does. Great job. All right, how about a little pass rush from 41? And there he is right there on the left side of your screen. And what we're going to see here from the Raiders is a standard protection. The play side, which is these 3 guys on this particular play, they're all going to take the gap to their left. 70 is going to take this gap, 66 is going to take this gap, and the center is going to take this gap. That means we're going to get one-on-one on the backside, one-on-one right here, and one-on-one right here. And this is a situation, if you're Ezeiruaku, when you've got really good pass rushing defensive tackles, especially with the one-on-one matchup right here. I love speed to power, where you just threaten with speed and attack with power through the tackle. I do not want to give this quarterback any chance to escape any of these guys inside. So make the pocket collapse on him. That's exactly what 41 does. I think this is how the Cowboys pass rush could be really good the rest of the season. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the rush. Has to hit the check down. Minimal gain. Revel and Overshown. New faces, guys. New faces making plays. Good to see. But you can see the pass rush here. Quinnen Williams walks the offensive lineman, the right guard, back into the lap of the quarterback, right? You can see Oso Odigizua pushing the center and the left guard back, a little pocket push there. You can see Clowney collapsing the pocket a little bit with the right tackle right there. And you can see Ezeiruaku with a little speed to power. Threat with speed, go into his chest with power. Again, his initial punch right there isn't very good. He gets a little too close before he gets his hands involved, but he corrects with good lean, pushes the pocket. Again, you can see the collapsing effect. Sometimes if you have really good interior rushers, but you have defensive ends who lose contain, quarterbacks can escape and bail. We see that all the time. What you want with the Cowboys, now that they got really 3 good defensive tackles, of course, Perry and Winfrey and Solomon Thomas should be involved at some point as well. When you have Quinnen Williams, Oso Odigizua, and Kenny Clark, plus potentially blitzing linebackers like Overshown and Shamar James in some instances, you want to collapse the pocket, right? You don't want to give this quarterback anywhere to go. Ezeiruaku does a good job right here. Again, you can see everything's collapsing around the quarterback, can only hit the check down. Good defense across the board. All right, for the wide copy, you can see Ezeiruaku right off the edge there. Again, look at this pocket collapse. That's great pressure without a sack. This is a situation where the quarterback, he can't step into the throw, he can't escape, he can't try and backpedal out of it. He has no choice right here but to hit the check down. That's good defense. There may have been opportunities to force it down the field, right? Maybe he's got something there. Maybe he's got something at the bottom of the screen. It's actually pretty good coverage everywhere across the board if we're being totally honest. But you never know. Sometimes there may be guys that are open down the field to attack deep. But when you push the pocket interior and you have great contain rush with speed to power like we see here from Ezeiruaku, it forces the quarterback very early on in the read to go check down, and that's a win for this Cowboys D. All right, going back to some run defense, and there's Ezeiruaku right there on the left side of your screen. And this is going to be a short yardage run here for the Raiders. You're going to bring number 1 in motion pre-snap to try and get flow from the linebackers and safeties going that direction. And they're going to bring 18 around the formation here to lead block against the safety. And what the Cowboys are going to do, they're going to reduce Ezeiruaku inside. And he does a great job beating the block of Brock Bowers, bouncing out and making the play. The Raiders are still able to get the first down because it's just a short yardage run. But the rookie does a really nice job. Let's check it out. There's the pre-snap motion. There's the snap. There's the handoff. There's the bounce. There's Ezeiruaku to make the tackle. Good defense. Is this a false start, guys? Number 70? That's pretty darn close. Yeah, I think he's moving a little bit. Raiders got away with one there, but the officials were kind of calling that pretty loose all night long, if I'm being honest. But you can see the snap there. You can see it looks like it's an inside run. That's what the Cowboys are playing, right? You see Ezeiruaku reducing inside, and he's got the inside leverage. He's got Bowers beat inside. But the running back right there bounces outside, following his lead block. But then Ezeiruaku does the next part of it, shedding in Bowers and then making the tackle. Again, great hands. You can see how, once again, he's parallel to line of scrimmage. Great strong hands, hips, knees, shoulders, everything parallel to line of scrimmage. He's got the inside gap. He takes it, and then he sheds the blocker to make the tackle. Really good defense, really good technique. A+ across the board here for Donovan Ezeiruaku. All right, for the wide copy, looks really good. Watch Ezeiruaku right here. Pre-snap, he's going to reduce down inside. He's going to beat Bowers inside. Look at that hand. Look at that bench press from Ezeiruaku. And Bowers is a good player, right? Again, he's a little high. That's the one thing I'd like to correct from Ezeiruaku. Plays a little bit high, but he uses his leverage so well. Great hands, great shock right there. Takes the inside and then fights off the block and makes a tackle. Really good defense right here. Again, his gap responsibility is inside. He takes it away, and when he sees the running back bounce, he's there to make the tackle. A+ run defense all night long from Donovan Ezeiruaku. Again, he's a complete player. Not just pass rush, not just run defense, not just backside run, play side run, outside run, inside run. This rookie can do it all. All right, quick break in the film review. Look, I was taught to break down film by my college coaches at the Division I level. All the players are. It's just a fact of playing football at that level. And I want to take this opportunity to give you guys, the average fan, more opportunities to get that insider knowledge of how the game is taught at that highest level of college football. I created a checklist, a step-by-step guide for you guys, 100% free. That's based on how I was taught to break down film by my coaches, and then I use today to create these film reviews. There's a link in the description box below that'll take you right to it. I really appreciate it if you guys decide to get it. Again, 100% free, just trying to share information to you guys, stuff that was taught to me by my coaches. But without further ado, let's get back into the film. Speaking of do it all, how about a little speed rush from Donovan Ezeiruaku? And there he is right there on the right side of your screen. And he's going to be one-on-one on the tackle right here. And he beats him clean with speed across the edge. Now, the quarterback gets rid of the ball quickly, but Ezeiruaku wins this rep. Again, the sacks, he's only gotten 2 so far this year, but they're expected to come in bunches. He's a really good pass rusher. He's good at everything. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the pressure around the edge. Quick throw. Knocked away. Good defense there from Deron Bland. Let's look at Ezeiruaku with a good speed rush. See how he attacks right at the tackle first and now goes outside? This is the counter to speed to power, right? With speed to power, you threaten vertically and then go inside, like we saw earlier in the film review. With a speed move, you threaten right at him like a bull rush. You threaten the bull rush and then go outside, knock the hands away. Good job right there. Look how he uses his left hand to knock the hands down of the tackle, turns the corner. Really low bend right there. He would have gotten a sack on Geno Smith had it been a quick throw. And listen, as a defensive end, sometimes the ball is going to be out before you can get there, right? There's only so much you can do, but this is a really good pass rush. Again, I love the 2 moves here from Ezeiruaku. Just use speed to power and then just use the counter right here where you fake the bull and then go with the speed rush. I honestly think with these 2 moves, he could be a force as a pass rusher for many, many seasons to come. All right, from the wide copy, you see Ezeiruaku right there at the top of your screen. Beat the tackle cleanly and get around. Again, the ball's gone at that point, but this is a win here for number 41. You can see how he has the bull rush right at him and the tackle stops moving his feet. You knock his hands down and you got him beat. As an offensive lineman, your job is to always keep your feet moving and always use your hands strong. And if a defensive end like Ezeiruaku can get your feet stopped and then knock down your hands, you don't stand a chance. And this is where 41, again, I love this move from him. Use speed to power to get them prepared for that bull rush and then counter with this fake bull outside, knock the hands down, turn the corner. Nice job by 41. All right, I want to end on another pass rush move, something Donovan Ezeiruaku I think needs to work on. And there he is right there on the right side of your screen, lined up as, we'll call it a 7 technique or a wide 5 technique, depending on what you want to call it here. So it's going to be another one-on-one situation. And like before, I think he wants to go bull to speed, but he doesn't commit to the bull rush or the speed. He doesn't commit to a speed to power either. And this can sometimes happen with Ezeiruaku. He gets himself caught in no man's land sometimes with his pass rush moves. I think it's just an inexperienced thing. Again, he's still a rookie despite how well he's playing. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Quarterback has a little bit of time. Throws short. Shamar James. Good tackle out of bounds. Nice job. Let's look at Ezeiruaku right here on the right side of your screen. So he goes up the field first and now threaten like the bull and now goes outside, but it looks kind of like he's unsure of himself, right? Initially, his first step is outside, it's vertical. You're thinking, okay, speed to power. But then he goes straight to the bull and you think, okay, maybe speed, but then he doesn't go to the speed move. It's one of those things where it's just a kind of an awkward play from Ezeiruaku. And I think that's experience, right? As he gets more comfortable, as he does just more reps, right, in different alignments. You can see right here being wider because of the tight end, I think threw off the timing a little bit. I think with more repetitions and more opportunities, he'll clean it up to the point where he'll make really clear, concise decisions when to use speed to power and when to use the fake bull rush to a speed move. And listen, he's already a really good player. Obviously, we've showcased him doing some good things in the pass rush department. Had a great game as a run defender, taking advantage of an unblocked opportunity. Great job inside run, great job outside run. It's very clear at this point that Donovan Ezeiruaku is an emerging star for this Cowboys defense. Tank Lawrence 2.0.